Good morning, YouTube. It's Ro here. Thank you for visiting You Grow Ro. If this is your first time here, I hope you'll consider subscribing at the end of this video. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you. Today, we're going to be pre-sprouting some ginger. I'll show you what I'm doing in just a second. So typically, I grow my ginger all year long indoors in one of my Aerogardens in soil. But I'm going to try something different this time. The reason for me doing that is because here where I am in Ohio, we just don't have a long enough season to get a significant harvest off of the ginger. It has to be already growing in order for me to get anything worth, taking the space up for. Ginger takes, depending on where you are, anywhere from 7 to 10 months, maybe more, to get, something sizable at least. And I don't have that. So I had started growing it indoors, which worked, but the harvests, again, still weren't very big. So now I came across a video from Gary Pilarchik, I believe is his last name. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. He has a method for pre-sprouting ginger, I believe he's in North Carolina, so he's got I think zone 7, I want to say. So he's a zone ahead of me. But he still gets cold weather and winter as well. So I ended up with a big old bag of ginger. It was huge. I've been working on this for like 2 months, but you'd be amazed at how much I got left. I mean, wow. Anywho, so this isn't like the best quality at this point, but I'm gonna give it a go. We're gonna try it and see if I can't get anything to sprout. So it's only 4 measly steps. How could I mess that up? So let me show you what all I got to get started here. First off, I have a gallon size Ziploc bag. I have ginger, of course, a cutting board down beneath here, a knife, some hydrogen peroxide, and some water. Pretty simple process. So let's get started. All right, so I'm just cutting these pieces of ginger into 1 to 2 inch size pieces if I can. And I want to make sure that the pieces have a node on them like this here. These 2 guys. Those are nodes, and that's where the ginger will sprout from. Now you don't want to use scraggly parts like this here. That's drying out. It's no good. I mean, you might be able to get it to do something, but why waste your time? Or this. Again, why waste your time with maybe if you have something of better quality like this here. And this piece has a node right there. And right there. You want to make sure every piece has a node where it can sprout from. So I'm just gonna cut that. I certainly wish I had a longer growing season so that I could grow ginger without having to do these tips and tricks in order to get it to work. So see here, we got a node right there. That's a good spot. And we have one on the tip here. So I'm just gonna break that up into 2 pieces. I'm gonna link to the video from Gary down below and up top here, but he explains that you need you know, a solid 7 to 10 months to get any kind of significant harvest from ginger. So that said, I don't have that long in my season here in Ohio. And I realized that early on when I started growing ginger. So what I did to combat it was I just started growing it in the house. And that works. I still get a harvest, but nothing like I would get, beautiful note, nothing I would get if I were to grow it outside in the garden. So I'm giving this a try this year. Plus I had that whole bag of, well, it was probably like a third of the bag left. I ended up with that for super cheap. And going through, even though I'd make my ginger bugs and so on, going through, you know, I don't know, what was it, 5 pounds of ginger is hard to do. All right, let me finish this up and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, friends, there's my ginger in the water and hydrogen peroxide solution. I'm to let this soak for 15 minutes. So let's do that. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
All right, so while we wait on that, I can go ahead and top off my ginger bugs. I have 2 of them here. I have this one in the quart jar, this one in the half gallon. They both are, this one's probably 6 months old, and the half gallon is probably, I would say, I don't know, 3 months, 2.5. And I just use these to make basically fermented soda, but you have to keep them alive. So you got to feed them sugar and ginger periodically. Alternatively, you can keep them in your refrigerator, which I don't do because if they go in that refrigerator, they can get lost in the sauce. I don't know how we collect so many condiments, but we do. And if I'm not using something up in that week, it's a good chance it's going to get lost because I'll forget about it. So, but it's really easy to keep these alive. But while I do that, I'm just going to explain to you guys that the process that I had for growing my ginger indoors all year round worked just fine using my Aerogarden, predominantly for its light source. I did not grow it in water. That is using soil in the Aerogarden and taking the pump out and then using it in that manner. Still having the light plugged in so that it would time on and time off. Under the tomato setting, or if you wanted to, you could change it and have it have the lights stay on for even longer. I just use the tomato setting. And I just let the ginger grow until till the leaves die back. It's a very pretty plant. I will tell you that my cat is a huge fan of ginger, so you might have an issue with animals chewing on the leaves, and that's what she did. She didn't pull it out the pot or anything. She nibbled on the leaves a lot. She liked, I don't know if she liked the taste of it or what the deal was. I could be growing cat grass for her, set it on the floor, and she would go up to that ginger before she went up to that cat grass. So I don't know if my baby girl is just a weirdo or if she's onto something. I don't know. So if you're going to grow it and you have pets, I recommend not leaving it on the floor where they can get to it. And it worked well. I mean, I never had where I got nothing from it. I always got something. Was never a lot though, was never a lot. And you know, that's to be expected. It's not as if the Aerogarden units are super large. They are large enough to grow the ginger though. Yes, they are. These rhizomes grow laterally, not vertically, so they don't need a whole ton of space to go down deep. They spread out. Rhizomes, that is, ginger rhizomes. And it worked well, like I said, but I'm just looking to get a better harvest, and I stumbled across that video, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a chance. I got all this extra ginger here at the house anyways. Might as well give it a go. Oh man, this smells so incredibly good. So incredibly good. Wow. So there's that. And if you wanted to grow it in a bigger pot and use a larger light, I'm sure you would have much better results than what I've had in the past. I believe on my channel I have 3 indoor harvest videos from different times I've grown ginger. I've probably been growing it in the house now for 6 years now. So you would have to go back at least 3 years in order to find videos for it. If I think of it, I'll link to them in the descriptions box there, or above in the iCards. I'm really excited for this though. If this works, it's a game changer. I would be able to do so much more with ginger. As it stands though, the ginger that I grow goes specifically to my fire ciders that I make every year. This year I got down to, I made 3 quarts and I had 1 quart left over when I started the season out. And so currently I have 2 quarts left to get us through the year, and that should do it. We only take, a shot full when we take it, and he doesn't really do it because to him it's just too much. Me, I'm used to the flavor. I actually like the flavor of mine. It changes every time. My fire cider, that is. It just depends on what I got. Okay. Oh, ginger, I love it. All right, so really you're supposed to measure these things, but as you can see, I don't. You could use this ginger bug as fermentation starter. You could use it for just plain old white sugar here. Nothing special. Making probiotic drinks. You could even use this in your breads if you wanted to. And then that. Because this one has a lid, I'm going to go ahead and shake it up real quick, just a little bit. Help dissolve that sugar I just put in there. Not too much though, because it is active, remember? Yeah, look at that. She's busy. Okay. Let's finish up with this ginger here. right. Here's my ginger. I'm just gonna rinse this out and then put it in a Ziploc bag, like he tells us. Okay, I have it marked here, Sunday, March 9th. And according to Gary, I need to check this every couple days. I'm looking for sprouts, obviously, and things that could be problematic, like mold. So I'm just gonna, got a lot of ginger pieces here. It's a lot of promise this year. And I believe I got that whole bag. It was like, I don't know, 5-10 pounds. It's what you get that at the GFS. It's a huge bag. I got it for $5. All right, there it is. All right, now we're all set. Gary says to then take this bag and put it on top of your refrigerator for 10 to 14 days. Keep an eye on it. You want to check and see if any of the ginger has any sprouts on it. After 10 days, he goes back. He looks for anything that has mold or questionable. If you come across something like that, you are to separate it from the healthy ginger. You put them, both piles, the healthy and the questionable, through the hydrogen peroxide and water soak separately, and then rebag them separately and come back another 10 to 14 days and keep going that way. Pretty easy. So in hopefully 2 months, I should have decent sprouts ready to go in the ground and not sitting in my house, not sprouting because it's too cold. So I'm gonna not put this on top of my refrigerator. I'm gonna put this in my office, which stays warmer because that's where I keep my plants at. And I'll also be able to keep a better eye on them. All right, I'll come back, show you some progress. All right, time to tackle this mess. Yay. Yeah, this system is ready for a trim for sure. Remember, this is the one that had the spider mites on it. So I am gonna cut all of this back pretty significantly so that I could clean off the deck from when I put the diatomaceous earth on here. So I got my work cut out for me, but I will have some fresh herbs for my salads. Here's my harvest. A crap ton of dill and a whole bunch of celery. Yay, celery. I mean parsley. And then over here is some of the Thai basil and the dill and the mint, but all of that had some spider mites on it, and I'm just not gonna even bother trying to clean that up. I'll just stick with what I got. This is plenty, and I'll replace those pods with some more herbs. And that ought to do it for this unit. I left a little bit in here. I still got these chives, which fighting against that dill and that parsley and everything else just did not do well, so I may put some more chive seeds in here. Here's that Thai basil, and back here is the mint. I left that, and I also left a little bit of the parsley. We'll see if we can get that to come back, cut and come again. Looks like there were some sprouts about to come in down here. So I think we'll get another flush off of that, and then I'll just clean up the rest of these with some more herbs. I cleaned the deck off real nice, and I went inside, I trimmed the roots of the plants, cleaned the sponge out, and we're all good to go. We're set for another flush, probably another month and a half. I'll be able to do another big harvest. Even in hydroponics, look how thick these dill stems get. Those are nice. Look at that. They're about thumb wide, thumb thick. Not bad at all. Smells incredible in here. I'm gonna get that cleaned up, put it in my salad spinner, make my salads for the week. And these herbs are going in there. That's what these will get used for. Yay. And then, as is the norm, I have harvested another, look at those, bowl of tomatoes from these two plants. And they're not giving up. Shaky, shaky. I have, this is the Bonte Tigret and the Fat Frog in the back there. They both are producing really well still, so I'm leaving them alone. And here's what I picked today. Still with these Bonte Tigrets, they are so pretty. They're good enough for this, but I will say they're not my favorite. There are much better, I was gonna say micro dwarf. Obviously, that's not a micro dwarf. Even the Fat Frog. I love the Fat Frog outside, but the taste is different grown indoors in hydroponics. Still good, but not as good as it was outside. Anyways, I got my salad fixings. How about you? All right. Gonna get this upstairs. Oh, look who it is.